Hi guys, I just wanted to make a quick video explaining what happened with the golden retriever because there are so many people asking me about it and asking how they can support, and it's been amazing. I will be creating a GoFundMe page that I will link with this video. So I wanted to kind of take you guys through how it happened, how I found him, and where he is now, and what the doctor said and all this stuff. So it was pretty late at night. I was driving around my neighborhood and I just see him in the middle of the road. I thought there was a bunch of like blood on his face or something. It was kind of dark. I was like, what is this giant dog doing walking around at night, you know? I had my dog in the car with me, and so I hopped out and he was really scared. So I used my dog to kind of like lure him over, and it worked. And he came and said hi, and then I quickly realized that it wasn't blood on his face. It was like a birthmark or something. And then when I got even a closer look, I was able to see that it was actually like some kind of like infection. So then I quickly like put my dog back in the car, parked my car, and I was able to, I just happened to have one of my dog's leashes in the car. I used that leash and I slipped it over his head, and since I was right in front of my house, I just walked him over and put him in my backyard, and went back to my parked car, brought my dog over, and then almost immediately just went to Sage Veterinary Hospital in Concord and saw if he had a microchip or not, and he didn't. So the next step was to try and get him some treatment, because all night he was just scratching his face on the concrete, and it was really sad. And he was so uncomfortable, and I suspected it was like more than just this skin problem. Like he was digging in his ears had a really weird smell, and his eyes were super inflamed probably because of the inflammation of the skin, where his eyelashes were scratching his cornea and stuff like that. The skin above his eyelid was so inflamed that it like inverted his eyelashes inward. So I wanted to know basically what I should do. Should I take him to a shelter? Should I try and fundraise to get treatment? Should I try looking for his owner some more? I didn't really know. So what I really wanted just from the hospital was like, I wanted someone to tell me if he was savable at this point. Because if it was something as dangerous as leprosy, then he was pretty far gone. But if it was just mites are curable. It's really easy to cure. And then like a middle ground would be like a fungus or bacteria. So I just wanted to know, basically. He was an older boy, so you could tell that, you know, he was well fed. He was kind of old. His eyes were cloudy. But no one at the emergency care could give me any advice. So I ended up leaving and scheduling an appointment with the hospital that I used to work for, which was Danville Veterinary Hospital, which is now a Banfield. So I decided to take him over there the next day. This wonderful soul, Courtney Wolak, and her sister met me at the hospital and donated some money to get him some more treatment, which was awesome. Dr. Haxby and Dr. Klauser helped with all of it, everything. They did a full examination on him. It turns out that he had, do you hear my dog? She's like, Dr. Klauser determined that he had way more problems than it was originally thought to just be like the facial skin problem. He has a double ear infection. He has the eye problems with the scratched corneas. He's got the skin problem, and on top of that, there's something stuck up his nose. Like there's something stuck right up his left nasal passage. So it could be, it was causing his nose to bleed. So it could be a foxtail, it could be a tumor, you don't know. So this dog needs a lot of care. I have these papers here, so this outlines pretty much everything that we did. So I don't know if you can see that. The total is $429.27. That was just for the initial. We did a skin scraping to rule out if it was mites or not. We did a level 2 ear cleaning. We did a fungal test, which takes 5 days to grow on an auger plate. They gave 2 ear infection medicine because his ears are so big. So, and then they gave Rimadyl, which is for inflammation. So the skin scraping came back. They called me today. Skin scraping came back as negative for mites and lice. So that means it's not mites or lice. So it's not a good thing, because that means that it's either a fungus or a bacteria or something like that. So that means it's going to cost more to fix the dog. I also didn't, just because I couldn't find a microchip doesn't mean I wanted to give up on finding his owner, because, you know, I didn't want my heart to think that someone would dump such a sweet dog. And this dog looked very well cared for. He was, you know, kind of heavy. You know, he looks like he's well fed. He was a sweet boy. He knew good tricks. Someone was taking care of him. So what I did, the area that I found him in, I went door to door and started knocking, asking if they have or if they're missing a golden retriever, missing a dog. And I did find his owner. I found his owner. He is an older Egyptian man, and he says he was so excited because he said all day he'd been circling around looking for his dog. He went all the way to the other sides of this neighborhood and looking for him all day. And, you know, it did lead me to question, like, why is this dog in such bad condition? So I, you know, through talking with him, I found that he had spent over $13,000 trying to combat this disease that this dog has. He said he does have a fungal infection, which I'm still waiting to see what the results of what kind of fungus it is. He's been battling this fungal infection since he was a puppy, and the dog is now 11 years old, which I thought he was actually kind of younger, but so I told him that I took his dog to the vet earlier that day, and I told him that I spent $430 on him, but it wasn't my money. I told him that people on Instagram and Facebook came together and got the money that I needed to get this first initial vet visit done right. And he was shocked. He was flabbergasted. He didn't think that that people, strangers, would want to help a dog like this. So I vowed to continue to fundraise for him. He has spent a lot of money on this dog, and I will make sure that that dog goes into get all of the necessary treatment from this point on. So based off of what they initially found, the nasal problem and the skin issue are the biggest issues. Where is that piece of paper? Anyways, the dog needs a CT scan. The dog needs a CT scan of his nasal passage to, one, see what's up there, if it's a tumor or if it's a foxtail or whatever, and then they need a probing. Then that's just like baseline $2,000 to do a CT scan on a dog, because that's a specialty thing. Then they need to tackle the skin fungus, which is probably going to be another $1,000. So I'm going to start a GoFundMe. This GoFundMe does take a large percentage of the profits gained from the fundraising, but they do have a really easy to use platform and people are familiar with it. So I'm going to do that. And if you can share this video with people, tag people in it, that would be awesome. I'm going to do a full post of the dog and all his pictures, and I will also make sure that I take the dog to the vet visits and everything like that. He is my neighbor. We exchanged numbers. I invited him over for tea. He's a very sweet man. He's just kind of stuck. So I've fundraised more money before. I think I can do it collectively and make sure that this dog is comfortable. Once we get the results from the fungal test, we can move forward with the skin issue. But that dog does need to figure out. He needs to figure out like what's wrong with the nasal passage. So, yeah, click the link, the GoFundMe link. I'm gonna put it in my bio. And if you can even just donate like $5, $10, that all helps. And I'll be donating my own money as well. These are things that I really care about. I didn't ask for this dog to come into my life. It just kind of happened. And now I feel like I'm obligated to help out as best as I can. I don't think that just because I found the dog's owner that it means that I stop helping. Because if I didn't find the dog's owner, I would probably still have that dog in my backyard. So, yeah, click link. Thanks, guys.